I now invite the President of the General Assembly, His Excellency Philemon Yang, to deliver a statement.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I thank His Excellency Abdulaziz Al-Wazir, Chair of the Bureau of the Commission on the Status of Women, for his leadership in overseeing preparations for this session. I also commend Member States for negotiating a political declaration that reaffirms the relevance of the Beijing Declaration and platform for action, and also outlines actions to accelerate the agenda. This year's session is a landmark one. We commemorate 30 years since the adoption of the Beijing Declaration and platform for action. We also mark the 25th anniversary of the adoption of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 on women and peace and security. Over the decades, we have seen significant progress in advancing the rights of women and girls. More countries now have legislation to promote gender equality, penalize violence against women and girls, and combat discrimination. Politically, while full parity remains elusive, there are now substantially more women in Parliament than 30 years ago, an increase from just 11% to 20% globally. More countries have national plans that recognize and promote women's roles in the peace and security agenda. And more girls are in schools today compared to 30 years ago. While we remain far from our goals, there exists momentum we must build upon. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, la déclaration et le programme d'action de Beijing reste l'agenda mondial le plus complet, ambitieux et largement approuvé en matière d'égalité de genre et de réalisation des droits humains de femmes et de filles. Cela est réaffirmé par le Pacte pour l'avenir qui reconnaît que le développement durable ne pourra tout simplement pas être atteint si les femmes et les filles continuent à se voir refuser l'ensemble de leurs droits et opportunités. Pourtant, le défi majeur persiste. Nombre d'entre eux sont renforcés par des normes sociales profondément ancrées et des obstacles systémiques qui perpétuent la discrimination contre les femmes et les filles. En effet, aujourd'hui, l'inaction autant que les politiques rétrogrades menacent de faire reculer les acquis durement obtenus en matière de droits de femmes. De plus, l'urgence politique et les ressources mises à la disposition ne sont pas à la hauteur de l'ampleur du défi auquel nous sommes confrontés. Pensez-y, au rythme actuel de progrès, il faudra 137 ans pour sortir toutes les femmes et les filles de l'extrême pauvreté. Et il faudra encore 68 ans pour mettre fin au mariage des enfants. Ces réalités sont inacceptables et devraient nous alarmer tous. Excellencies, Ladies and gentlemen, as an international gender champion, I am committed to promoting gender equality throughout the work of the General Assembly of the United Nations and across all my priorities. I am particularly focused on women's economic empowerment and rights. As the 2030 deadline for the Sustainable Development Goals nears, we must be resolute in delivering on the promise of Beijing. To end poverty and enhance economic development, we must unleash women's full potential, and we are at a defining moment. I believe it is possible to achieve gender equality in our lifetime if we seize this opportunity. It demands greater resources, decisive legislation and policies, the dismantling of discriminating norms, and institutional reforms. At the international level, it requires a steadfast commitment to leveraging multilateralism to uphold and advance gender equality, including through the revitalization of the Commission on the Status of Women. With genuine commitment and the will to act, we can succeed building a future where all women and girls can thrive successfully. I thank you.
I thank the President of the General Assembly,